You're watching your Fast Life Motorcycle channel. I'm gonna show you how to ride a motorcycle, and it's gonna be fun, easy, fast, and it's gonna be unlike any other video series that you've seen on how to ride a motorcycle. So a key component of being safe on a motorcycle is your gear. The things you wear to protect your body against the elements and against collisions and more so slides. Let's get into it here. The first part of the gear that I would definitely recommend, the number one thing is a helmet. My helmet right here is a Shoei RF1000. If you need help picking out your first helmet, there's some links in the description for some excellent helmets that I recommend. The next thing that I always wear no matter what is my gloves. These are Held Phantom 2 gloves. One of the best gloves that you can buy. It features kangaroo skin, which is really awesome when it comes to sweat. It's going to be much more comfortable and easier to put on and take off. It's also got exotic materials like stingray skin, which is extremely abrasion resistant. The next thing I have here is my Alpinestars RC race jacket. This video, by the way, sponsored by Alpinestars and Held. So this jacket features a lot of protective features. It comes with basic armor or padding, but I've actually upgraded it with the Alpinestars upgraded protection, which has a hard shell on the outside and padding on the inside. You've got the hump on the back, which is actually vented, and that can help to protect your neck if you fall off the motorcycle. Basically, it keeps your neck more straight. You've also got these rubberized pieces on the shoulders, top quality leathers, and stitching. This jacket was also crash tested at about 100 miles per hour, and that's close to 10 years ago. The next important piece of gear is your boots. Not your slippers, not your sneakers, but your boots. I got these boots. I got these. Okay. And finally, you want to wear riding pants. A lot of people do this really strange thing. They will wear a nice helmet, a nice jacket, and even racing boots, and then they'll put on just regular jeans. It's almost as if their legs are expendable. As long as their torso is good, their hands are good, their feet are good, apparently they're okay with that. So if you're okay with losing all the skin on your legs, then just wear your jeans. But if you value your legs as much as you do the rest of your body, you want to wear proper riding pants. And I recommend leather. There's nothing that beats leather. Yes, man-made materials have made a lot of great strides, but from what I've seen, there's nothing that compares to leather. When you look at MotoGP, those guys who are racing at incredible speeds, they're all wearing leather, not textile and all this kind of stuff. So if you want the best protection, you want leather. Pants, boots, jacket, gloves. Not your helmet though. Helmet's not supposed to be leather. You're not riding a horse. Okay, so now let's talk about the basic parts of the motorcycle. So right here we have my brand new 2016 KTM RC390. Let's break down the motorcycle into two basic parts or two quadrants. Let's look at the left side versus the right side. So the left side, think of that as transmission. The left side is transmission. The right side is your speed control. On the right-hand side is speed control. On the left side is your transmission or your gear control.
That's really the way to look at it. Your brake pedal, that's your rear brake. The rear brakes are really good for slow speeds and also helps to stabilize the bike in normal braking. You want to use the rear and the front brakes. But that's all it is. You push down on it and there you're applying the rear brakes, which are gonna be not as powerful as the front brakes. Front brakes is where a majority of your stopping power is gonna come from. Over here you have throttle control. So this is your throttle. You can actually twist this to go faster, release it to go slower. So imagine that's your gas pedal pretty much. Faster, slower, faster, slower. Brake, this is your front brakes. Again, this is the majority of your stopping power is gonna come from these. The proper way that you wanna brake is with both brakes at the same time. So you're gonna go front and rear, front and rear. On the left-hand side, you have
transmission.
You have your clutch lever. This is if you've driven a stick-shift car, this will be like your clutch pedal. You squeeze that in to disconnect the engine from the wheels. And then when you do that, then you're gonna be able to actually change gears. Right now we're in neutral, so we can go down one to first gear, and then we can go half a step up to neutral, another half a step up to second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. It's a sequential transmission, just like on those exotic cars or some of the new cars with the paddle shifters. So you can't really skip gears. You have to go in order, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you don't have to actually engage the gear, but you have to pass through the gear. These are your headlights, high beams, low beams, high beams, low beams. Signal, left, right, left, right. To cancel it out, you push it in. Push it in to cancel. Left turn, cancel. Right turn, cancel. And here's your horn. Here is something that you want to get in custom of checking this. Basically, this is your brake fluid in there. You never want to come on your bike and see this, the levels basically showing that there's no fluid in there. That'd be very dangerous and very bad. In an emergency or something, you can actually flip that engine's disengaged. So no matter what happens, you know, whatever's going on, you want to cut the engine at any point in time, there you go, engine's off. This is your cutoff switch here, right? And here's how you actually start the bike. You're gonna push that to start the bike. This is a normal speedometer, oil light, neutral light, signal light, and your high beam light. This bike is nice to have a fuel gauge. Some bikes do not, so you'll have to actually check inside the tank. And we'll take a look at that right now. Here's the tank. This is your gas tank right here. Holds about probably 3 gallons of gas. And there's your tank. So if you don't have a fuel gauge, you want to actually go and look in there and see. You can shake up the bike. Listen to the sound of the fuel. So I'm hearing some good waves going on in there, so I know I got enough fuel. And let's actually go and start the bike up. So, and that's it. We can turn it to on. Now the headlight is on, and remember we have to press this, right? So we're actually gonna go ahead and press this, and nothing happens. Have an idea why nothing's happening? Hope you remember what I was telling you before. So why isn't this working? So you're saying it's the switch, right? Because the switch is off. Okay, so it's on now. So let's go ahead. Still nothing. Oh, I guess the bike is broken, huh? Something's wrong with the bike. Oh man. No, nothing's wrong with the bike. This is something else that I didn't tell you about, a safety feature. Now, if you're in gear and you start the bike can actually roll forward and fall over, which would not be a very good thing, probably very embarrassing. So, if you turn on the key to on and you don't see the neutral light on, then that means you're not in neutral. If you're not in neutral, there's a safety feature that's going to stop you from starting the bike until you get into neutral. So right now, I'm going to go down to the pedal. Hopefully you can kind of see that. So I'm just gonna push in the clutch lever, and I'm not even sure what gear I'm in. There you go. So the neutral light just came on. So now we know we're in neutral, and now it's gonna start right up. Oh, it doesn't start up. What's wrong now? What is wrong now? While you guys were looking, I switched off the engine. So let's turn that back on and press it. And that's it. Okay, now in my full training video, I'm going to go over actual riding techniques and how to pull up and stuff like that. But I'm just going to leave you with this. Here's a very basic exercise that you can try out if you're learning how to ride a motorcycle and you're getting comfortable with the whole idea of, you know, having this 300, 400 pound motorcycle. You know, you're afraid of knocking it over, and how do you get started? Because the bike can't hold itself up. So that's what a lot of new riders will be afraid of, you know? You get on this thing and it feels like heavy to you and it's wobbling around, and you know, how do you actually put your feet up? If you put your feet up, what's supporting the bike? And you're like, oh no, I'm gonna fall over. So what you want to do is first of all, you want to put the clutch lever in, right? And with your foot on the left foot peg, you want to go ahead and engage first gear by pressing down. You want to keep this squeezed. If you release it, the bike's going to stall, right? If you release it too quickly. So I'm going to show you a little exercise to get you comfortable with starting off. So basically with both feet down, supporting the bike, right? And as long as the bike is centered, you're not going to really feel the weight. The weight comes when you lean it over. The more you lean it over, the more heavy the bike is going to be, right? So keep the bike here. And again, we're in first gear, so we're going to hold that down. Now I'm going to slowly release this. By the way, you notice we're about just under 2,000 RPMs. I'm not giving any gas. There's your gas, no gas at all. I'll put my hand over here, as a matter of fact. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slowly release the clutch lever. Let me lean over so you can see this. Release the lever real slow, and then it's going to start to slowly move. Very gentle, and I just want to pull it back in. Right? So I'll do it again. Actually, we'll do it from here as well. So just basically release it a little bit, go forward, and then just slide it back. Release it a little bit, let it roll forward slowly, and slide it back. No gas, nothing. That's all you're literally doing. You're releasing the clutch lever a little bit until it starts moving, let it roll, and then when you want to stop, just push it in. Slowly release the clutch lever, got both my feet down, so I'm totally secure, not worried about dropping the bike. I'm gonna slowly release it until I get to the friction zone, which is where the engine starts to engage the wheels. Now I don't know if you heard that, the sound of the engine actually went down, and you'll see the RPMs drop a little bit as well. Let me let you see that. See that? See the RPMs dropped a little bit, right? And I note how much I release it right there. See, that's the point. That's the point where the bike starts moving. So what you want to do is you want to get it to that point slowly. As soon as you feel it start moving, just slowly release it, and the bike's going to start going. If you get a little nervous and it's going too fast, you just, squeeze it in. No big deal. Squeeze it in, hold the brakes, relax. It's all good. All right? And you just keep doing that. Maybe get used to the feeling of the bike starts moving like that. And you release it. Let it roll forward. Squeeze it in. Let it roll back. Slowly release. No throttle at all. Just idle. There you go. All right, let's go again. Slowly release, and the bike starts to move. And I can actually continue and actually ride the bike like this in idle with no throttle at all. And the key is to slowly release the clutch, right? Because if you don't do that, something like this is probably going to happen. See that? We stall the engine. So that is your basic primer on how to ride a motorcycle. And again, we're going to go over in a lot more detail. We're going to have a much better produced video for you guys in the future.